Hello there and welcome to Weekly Tips. Today we are dealing with VBA Basics in Excel. What exactly is VBA? VBA, or Visual Basics for Application, is a programming language used in MS Office applications. VBA allows you to automate different tasks in Office, so it can save you a lot of time if you have to deal with repeatable tasks. It has low entry point, thanks to macro recorder, but it's quite hard to master. Or you can just have some fun with it, as I had with presented smiley generator, but more on that in the next week video. In any case, today I want to show you some VBA basics in Excel. Firstly, if you want to create any macro in Excel, you have to customize your ribbon. You can do that by right-clicking on any existing ribbon tab and choosing Customize the ribbon. After that, you can simply select the Developer tab. Now, you got another tab on a ribbon. Most important buttons for beginners are Visual Basic, in which you write and review your code, Macros, to see and use all available macros, Record Macro, very useful function which allows you to record steps taken in Excel. Let's dig into Visual Basic. As you can see, it opens in another window and have a lot of different fields and options available. But for now, we can simply forget about it and create our first macro using Macro Recorder. A little disclaimer, on first use, your VBA window can look differently. If so, just click on View and select Code or press F7. So, to create our first macro, we click Record Macro. Pick a name, and also we can pick a shortcut for this macro. Also, quite important decision is where we store our macro. Personal Macro Workbook stores macros which will be available in all your Excel files. Other option will store your macros locally, in a particular file, and as long as that file is opened, you can use them. Decision is yours. For today, I picked Personal Workbook. Now, we can see that Personal Macro Workbook was automatically created, and from now on, almost every step that I make in Excel will be recorded. So, let us make a macro that formats presented data. As you can see, every step that I take is recorded in VBA window. After I've picked all format options I wanted, I can click Stop Recording. Let us look at the code created by the recorder. Even if you're not into programming, you can see some patterns here. First, we have some range selected. Then, with this selection, something is happening. After that, we selected columns A to E, and we auto-fitted them. And finally, we selected columns J and deleted it. Now, let's try our macro on different set of data. But oh no, as you can see, we've got an error and nothing else happened. In this particular example, the problem is with macro name. As you can see, I've deliberately named my macro columns, but it's also the name of object in VBA as well. Because of that, the program couldn't run. But we don't have to throw it all away. Let's try changing the name of the macro to columns2. I've used shortcut that I assigned to this macro before, and voila, it worked as intended. Now let us make some changes in the code. First, we can get rid of the select step to make our macro more universal. Now we can select any area and format it. Also, let's suppose that we don't want our macro to delete any data, so we can simply delete few last lines in the code. Lastly, we should delete the step in which we selected columns A to E. Let's test it on new set of data. As you can see, it works as intended. Another disclaimer, as you can see, I selected more cells than I wanted and ran the macro. It's worth to remember that you cannot reverse any steps made by macros. So when it's done, it's done. and your only option to reverse it is to close the workbook without saving and try again. So a useful tip is that you should never try out new things on imported documents with no backup. Create a copy first. After we've done coding, we can just close everything. And as you can see, as we picked storing macro in personal macro workbook, Excel asks if we want to save our changes. We want to use it later, so we click Save. Now we can open a new set of data and use our newly created macro. Final info for today about VBA. It works in other MS Office applications as well, but slightly differs depending on the program. If you have some questions or thoughts about VBA, please share them in the comments below. That's all for today. Thank you and see you next time.